Today, you're going to learn how to render our 360-degree view on our website. And to do that, you're going to use a couple of resources. So stay tuned as we go through this tutorial. And so we're going to start on a blank screen. You see over here that I've created some components. It's just an HTML file, okay? So for the first step, alright, so now the first step we're going to do is to how to find an rectangular image. So I want you to open your favorite browser and then just type in rectangular. Just type in rectangular room images. Okay, I think that's here. So I'm going to tap on that and then it loads for me. So I'm going to see a couple of rectangular images that you could use. Take note, if you don't use an rectangular image, it might not be able to be rendered. So I'm going to use one from FreePic over here. So I come here and then I just click on free download. You can choose the size that you want, but then we will just do a normal size download of our rectangular image. Now the second step you're going to do is to host your image online. For us to really render this image on our website, we would have to host the image online. So to host that, I'm going to use IMBB. IMBB offers us a free platform for you to actually host your image online. So I tap on IMBB over here from my search results, and as IMBB load, we see over here they say upload and share your images. Okay, so I'm going to start uploading straight away. So I don't want to waste so much time with this video, so I've already uploaded some pictures of my rectangular image. So I'm just going to go to albums, and then when I go to albums, I see over there that I have 9 images. So I said click on my 9 images, and then my rectangular images load. So now these are my rectangular images that I'm going to use in my project. All right, for us to actually render our rectangular images, we will need to understand the use of iframes. So let's go to iframes and learn something about iframes. Now there's documentation from Mozilla. So you're going to read the documentation from Mozilla. So now when you open this, what do you see? So now there is a demo that I want it to load that is not loading so fast. But then if you come here, it says that each embedded browsing context has its own document and allows URL navigation. So with our iframes, we could use a URL and then we could do navigations on the URL. There are some attributes that are attached to iframes that we should all take note of. So with iframes, you could allow full screen for your iframe. So you could allow full screen, you could browse topics and etc. You could do a lot with your iframes. This I'm interested in. Iframes allows you to name your embedded document. Okay, so you could actually name it. So now the first of all that we're going to try using is that of the Panelum. All right, so I'm going to open my browser and I'm just going to type in Panelum. Okay, Panelum. I have it down there, but then I want to type it there so that you know what to type. I'm not sure whether it's a library, but then let's type Panelum.js, and then upon opening Panelum's website, we see something over here. We see a rendered panorama image. But then let's go to the documentation and let me show you something. So now when you come to the documentation, they say Panelum is built using JavaScript with HTML. It can stand alone, or you can embed it in an iframe or a JavaScript API. So we are focused on the iframe usage. So we are going to use the iframe, though Panelum can stand on its own. All right, so this is an example of an iframe being used to render a panorama image. So we are just going to copy this. We will make use of it later on. Okay, we'll copy this iframe and then we'll use it in our project. So I want us to actually copy it right away. I'm going to show you the meaning of some things over here. There are some configurations that you would have to do with your Panelum iframe. If you come down here for your configurations, you'll see that you could actually specify a lot of things, but we're going to go through them one by one. Okay, so you could specify a lot of things like I said, but then let's paste our code in our Visual Studio Code. So we're going to put our iframe here in our project, and then like I said, we're going to copy this and paste it in our document. or in our file, in our HTML file. So when we post this is what we get after pasting it. Okay, I've formatted it, that's why it looks like this. Now there's a width and a height specified, but then I've already specified the width and the height of my of this. So I've done it like you can see here, width 90% and the height 80, viewport height. So I would want to take that part off, that's the width and the height. Okay, I'll take it off for the meantime, and you could see they allow full screen, like is part of the configurations of an iframe. And also they've added some styling here. I'm going to take it off of bother none because I've already written my CSS. Now you see this part of your link. Okay, this part is what you're going to take. You're going to insert a link to your image. So come to your IMDb, to the image you've uploaded, and then just click here, and then over here you're going to select direct link. Just select direct link. You get a direct link to the image file. So I paste my direct link to my image file over here, and then at this point I expect that my image should load on my website. So let's reload our web page and see something. Ta-da! You see it over here that our image has loaded. Okay, so you're going to just click on it for it to load for us. Okay, you can actually do automatic loading, but then we'll go look into that very soon. So I'm going to go to my configurations and show you something. So here, my configuration, I could actually specify my title. I could specify my title. So you could see over here that my title hasn't been specified yet. So I'm going to type it there, title. Okay, and my title will be equal to mountain. Hey, I got my spelling wrong. Okay, mountain vista. Okay, so that's how you specify your title. Okay, so I want the spacing to be 20. That's the spacing between the texts. So mountains, and then I'm going to specify auto rotate, so that as soon as the image loads, it automatically rotates. I got my spelling wrong initially, and then my auto rotate speed is going to be set at 2, and then my horizontal angle of view is going to be set at 360 degrees, and I'm going to set my offset to 0. Okay, so now let's look at what all these things mean. Let's look at what these things mean. Auto rotate means it causes it to automatically rotate. Like as soon as you reload your page, your this thing automatically rotates. And then we have horizontal field of view. Okay, so it sets the horizontal field of view. You know, when you reopen your page for the first time, you want it to be set at a certain angle. Okay, so I want mine to be set at 120 degrees. So I set it at 120 degrees, and then let me scroll down and show you something. I want to show you you have the vertical angle of view too that you could actually set. The default is 180 degrees, but then I want to specify it on my page. So now let's reload our page to see if our configs actually work. So let's load our image, and it seems our image isn't auto rotating. Yes, it wasn't auto rotating, though the vertical angle of view has been set all right, but then our image hadn't auto rotated. I'm going to take a second look at my code. Let me reload it and see something. Okay, other things work except my auto rotation. My auto rotate speed has been set at 2. Perhaps maybe that's why it's not rotating that fast. I'm going to take a look at it very fast and then correct it so that we move on. But then you could see that everything over here works nicely. Alright, so I'm going to edit some part of my code, and then upon editing my code, I've realized that there was a mistake with the offsets. Okay, with the offset, you realize that I didn't bring this ampersand sign over there, so the auto rotate wasn't working. Now that I've put it there, ta-da! Now it's working. Alright, my image is auto rotating when I load a page, and then you could actually see everything nicely over there. Okay, so I think with that we've actually implemented our Panelum view, our panorama using Panelum. Alright, now let's go to the next one that we could use, that is Google VR. So let's come here into our HTML and then put our iframe there, and then let's search over here Google VR. Alright, so Google VR view, actually on our page, we see here Google VR View for the web, Google for developers. You're going to actually click on that link. That's the first one that comes up. Then on our VR View for the web, we scroll down and you see that you could use a script tag to view your paranormal on your web page. You could actually use a script tag, but then, like I said, I want us to use iframes because iframes are very easy to use. You can actually embed your document easily. So we're going to scroll down a bit and I want to show you, there should be iframe usage here. Yes, so that is it. You could embed your iframe. By itself, it's equivalent to declaring an iframe with the same parameters, like I said before. So we're going to copy the iframe over here and then paste it in our code. Okay, so with Google VR, you know that your iframe doesn't allow you to use certain configs. So as in when you're using your script tag, you could use that a couple of things over here that your iframes doesn't allow you to set, unlike the panelum that you could actually set a couple of configs. You could set the author, you could set the title and all that. But your Google VR, if you are using your iframes, you know that you are limited to certain parameters that you could actually use. Okay, so I think that's that. So some parameters like ready, error, you could set your error, you could set your click functions, you could set your if it's a video, you could set your play, you could set your volume for the video and all that. But then we just use our iframes. So we go down a bit and then we paste our iframe over here. So now that we've pasted our iframe over here, let's edit it. Okay, as you can see, I have pasted my iframe over here and then I've done some editing to it. You could see that it's not the same as the one on the Google VR website, right? So you could see that the input I did by myself, I specified that if my VR view is on a index.html file, then my image file should be this. So I inserted the URL of my image. You know how to get a URL of your image, right? You go to IMDb and then get a URL of the image. So insert your URL of your image over here. So I got it from IMDb, right? Like I said, then I click on this and then I click copy. Then I copied my URL. So that's how I put my URL code and I posted it over here. And then I tried to set some configs in addition. So I set that my image isn't a stereo file, so I set a stereo to be false as specified over here. So it's stereo. Indicates that the content of the image is a stereo. Okay, so ours isn't a stereo, so you set it to false, and then we set our auto pan to true. We hit our full screen button. I hit our full screen button, but then I'm going to delete that for the meantime. Okay, our full screen button should actually show for us to get into full screen. You see it down there, it's in the right corner there. Okay, so you can rotate our image. All right, like I said here, you don't get a lot of configs as compared to that of the panelum, where you could magnify and minimize. You get those buttons over there and all that. You could specify the name, you could specify angle of view, you could specify a whole lot more that the Google VR does not really offer you. But then if you'd want to use those features, you could do that with your panelum. Okay, so here is the auto load that I spoke about. Let me put my auto load here. I'll set my auto load to be true. So when I set my auto load to be true, you see, as you refresh your page, automatically your panelum JS loads up very well. Okay, so it has been auto loaded anytime you refresh your page. You don't need to click on it for it to load. But then let me take it off. Okay, let me take it off so that I load it by myself. Now coming back to my VR view. Now let's go to the last and final one, that is using render stuff. So we are going to do our panel using render stuff. You're going to do our paranormal using render stuff. So in your search bar, you just search render stuff online, and this is what you're supposed to see here, render stuff online. So that's their logo and everything. You just click on this render stuff, and then this sends you straight to the online paranormal viewer that is on the website. Okay, but let me show you the home page of the website. The website offers a couple of things. It offers a portion master. It offers a couple of things, but then I use the 360 panorama viewer because that is what I am interested in. So I use the one that I upload my image from the link. Okay, so I copy the image of my link, the link to my image, then I paste it over here, and then you can insert your title. Okay, so you can insert your title here as hostel room or something, and then we click on OK, and then automatically it generates a link to view the paranormal. Okay, but then like I said, we want to use an iframe. So you could just copy that link, you come and paste it here, paste this over here, and then the thing will just come. Okay, we could just paste it here, then we could set our iframe configs to allow full screen. Okay, so we could set our global parameters that should allow full screen, and then there's frame border 0, we don't want that. So here is it. We reload our page, and then we see our paranormal has been loaded with the title set to hotel room. Now we see that here it is a little too big, it is scrollable, which you might not want it like that. You don't want your paranormal to be scrollable and it looks a bit weird. So you can set the size over here, paranormal embed code to a 600 x 400 pixels image. So we do that, and then when we try to do that, we have to paste our iframe. We copy our iframe, and then we paste our iframe in our code. Okay, so now we do that, and then the width and the height of the iframe has been set. So when we go back to our bar for it to load, we see that yes, it's no longer scrollable. But realize that as it's no longer scrollable, we don't see a couple of things, like we don't see the allow full screen, and we have to type it up by ourselves. So we have to type it here, allow full screen. So we allow full screen over here in our file for it to show up. All right, so allow full screen. Seems like something is wrong. Oh, I did a typing mistake. So I'm going to redo everything over here and reset the sizes and everything, and then I'm going to allow full screen. So I allow full screen, and then I reload my page, and I've changed the width and the height and everything, so it's behaving kind of weird. I'm changing the title manually. You can actually do that manually in your iframe over here. Remember that iframe parameters has the title, and then we can even remove the scrolling in our iframe over here. You could do that. So you see that the scrolling has been removed, but just that part of the image has been hidden underneath over there, and our full screen button to be showing. But then I think we should allow it to be scrollable. Yes, actually that's the default, so if you don't set it at all, it's going to be scrollable. Okay, so we remove the scrollable, and then yes, now we can actually scroll through our paranormal view over here. That is not a bit user friendly, but then you could find your way around it, and then just take the width and the height off for it to look a bit okay, so that when the user loads your page, your user could just scroll down a bit and then view your paranormal image with that you have done with render stuff. All right, so you can actually allow full screen. So far we've not done that yet. So when we allow full screen, you would view the full image, and then you could move around and have a 360-degree view of the image. All right, so without wasting much time, I think that will be the end. Let's view everything that we've done from the beginning: our Google VR, our panelum, and our render stuff. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.